All right, guys, I'm gonna make a quick video. I haven't made a video in about a week. Really, reason being is I've kind of come to the conclusion, and I think I've been talking about this for a while, that we're not going to see a crypto bull market until this whole tariff situation, Jerome Powell cutting interest rate situation, tariffs, tariff and all that stuff has to pretty much be resolved before anybody has confidence to get back into these markets full fledged. Yeah, we get pumps. We'll get some pumps. We'll get some dumps. But until then, it's basically just a little bit of a wavy roller coaster ride. So we got Bitcoin back up to $84,000. I think we were at 85,000 yesterday. All coins basically just chilling, not doing all that much. You got CNBC today. United Health stock plummeting on higher medical costs. You know, the whole medical system in the United States is a disaster. As MAGA as I am, I actually voted for Obama the first time because I really wanted him to reform the healthcare system in America, which he did not do, and Obamacare was a disaster. So what's happening is a rising inflation, rising costs of everything is basically pricing everybody out of healthcare. It's also priced people out of buying car insurance, health insurance, insurance on your house. I know just on one of my rental properties, the homeowners insurance that I had on there went up like 50%. So it's a complete disaster. Economy, we're definitely heading for a recession. The question is when, and hopefully that recession does not happen until after we get this crypto bull market. I don't think it will. I think we have about a solid year before we go into full-blown recession and the real estate market collapses and all that good stuff. But we are going to see a recession. You know, good news being that recessions generally only last 6 to 12 months. So if you've been in crypto for a long time, 6 to 12 months is like, it's absolutely nothing. It's just like a buying opportunity, to be honest. So you also have Trump, who's come out now. You know, before he was kind of like hinting around that he didn't like Powell, like, oh, he needs to raise rate or he needs to cut rates. What's he doing? Blah, blah, blah. Now Trump's basically just come out and said Powell basically should get fired. It says Trump calls for a Fed to cut rates, says Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. So this is kind of a positive if you ask me. Trump wants rates to be cut. That's one of Trump's main reasons for not even caring about the stock market right now, for going full in on these tariffs and all that. He wants Powell to come in, the Fed to come in and cut rates. Powell has been hesitant to do it. I think one reason Powell's been hesitant to do it is because he just doesn't like Trump. And with a lot of these powerful guys, you know, Trump, Powell, whoever, all these politicians, these appointed guys, it's all a dick size contest with them. And Powell kind of knows that Trump can't fire him technically. So he's basically just trying to have a pissing contest with Trump. But Trump being the Mac Daddy that he is, you know, the alpha that everybody always says. I hate the term alpha, but I'm going to say it because in this case it kind of is. I mean, if anybody's alpha, it's Donald Trump. Nobody's going to beat Donald Trump. So eventually what's going to happen is either Powell's going to cut the rates or he's going to get fired. It's probably all going to happen within the next couple months. We all know once Powell cuts the rates, the market's going to fly, Bitcoin's going to fly. And that's kind of what I've been waiting for, the whole quantitative easing thing. That's kind of what I've been waiting for. Hopefully that happens in the next couple months going into the summer, which is when I was hoping for a big Bitcoin bull run where we at least get a $2 Cardano, $3 Cardano, and, you know, Bitcoin $150,000 and all that. I think that's still all on the table. I think Trump is playing a game of chess here. And I think Powell, you're starting to see the cracks in Powell. I think Powell even came out a couple of days ago and he said, oh, with this whole tariffs thing, things are very uncertain right now. We might have to act. When I listen to CNBC, all they're talking about how is basically the Fed has to come in and act. So every time the stock market has a bad day, all the talking heads on CNBC are basically just saying, oh, Fed, Powell needs to do something. Powell needs to do something. So what's going to happen is he's going to eventually be forced to do something. And then we're basically going to see a full-blown, hopefully, stock market rally into the summer, crypto rally going into the summer and fall. And then hopefully that recession doesn't happen until we get into next year. There is a timing issue. I always talk about it. There is a timing issue here that, if we don't get that crypto bull run by at least summer going into fall, we're probably not going to get one because everything with crypto is based off the 4-year happenings. But as of right now, we're still on track. Haven't been making too many videos because there's really just not much to say. There's nothing going on in crypto right now. I can tell you guys that. Like as far as like Cardano news, Theta news, Litecoin news, Bitcoin news, it's just like everything's basically hit a brick wall until this whole thing gets straightened out with tariffs. Good news being, I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos. Basically the whole tariff situation has been worked out with every country except for China. But if you can find videos online that basically United States is China's like biggest customer. We buy all our tchotchkes, our Temu products, our shitty shoes. All my video cameras I have for work, spy cameras, phone cases. Even I got I got a computer from Temu. So basically everything I buy is from basically Chinese made, but I don't have to buy it from China. It's just cheaper. So what's happened because of these tariffs, you're seeing all these factories in China just laying people off. People are out of work. Factories are looking for sneaky ways to send their product around. Not instead of saying direct to the United States, they'll send it to Japan first, and then ship over to United States. So China's not doing too good. Here's a little video I found.
Known as the world's manufacturing giant, the country is at the heart of the global supply chain in countless sectors. But recent developments have reached such a point that the piling up of goods in Chinese ports, some factories at a standstill, and a frightening wave of unemployment have become a major topic of discussion. The striking thing is that these developments are alleged to be the result of the tariffs and trade tensions that began under Donald Trump, and whose effects are still being felt. This was a step to stop China's march to global dominance, some say, while others say the tariffs have already collapsed and the result is chaos.
Yeah, so the only thing is, like, with the Chinese people are so used to living like animals over there, and I actually spent some time in China like 10, 15 years ago, and I really am fascinated with China. Chinese culture, great people over there, but most of them do live in poverty. So like if they get laid off from the factory and they have to eat, bugs for the next month, they probably would do it. Whereas if an American has to eat bugs, he's not doing it, which makes sense, So they can pretty much take a lot of abuse over there on China. But the question is how much abuse? Because eventually they will rebel against the Communist Party, and that's not good for him because that will destroy the Communist Party. Xi Jinping or whatever his name is, he will get thrown right out of office. And he knows that. He knows there's a certain limit of what the Chinese people are willing to tolerate. Right now, you're seeing factories shut down. You're seeing, basically these factories are a standstill because the United States is their biggest customer. And how does it affect us in the United States? Well, we have to pay more for certain products, which it seems people are willing to do short term. But in China, everybody basically gets shut down. You're out of a job. You lose your income. And the government's going to have to subsidize your life. And it's going to basically cripple the Chinese economy. So I personally think a deal with China is going to happen within the next month. I personally think that. I think that. So these are the two things what we need for a crypto bull market. We have to have a trade deal with China. We're not getting a crypto bull market until we have a trade deal with China. I think it's going to happen within the next month. We'll see what happens because it's just unsustainable. Whatever's going on right now is unsustainable. And we have to have Powell come in and say, okay, I'm going to reduce rates. Once those two things happen, we're in full-blown crypto bull run. Now we're at April 17th right now. I personally think it's going to happen by May 17th. We'll see. I don't know 100%, guys. I mean, I'm just guessing like everybody else. But if that happens, if those two things happen, we're going to see $150,000 Bitcoin at some point this summer, and we're going to have the next leg up in your altcoin rally. If it doesn't happen, we're not going to get that bull market, and it's going to suck, and we're just going to have to wait this shit out for the next year or two. Now, if it doesn't happen, that means the cycles are broken. And I don't think we're going to have to wait another 3 or 4 years for another bull market, but I think we're probably going to have to wait another year, 6 months to a year, until things basically rebound again. So, but personally, I think it's going to happen because I don't think the Chinese people can tolerate these tariffs. And honestly, I don't think people in the United States are going to want to be paying a lot more for these products. So, I think it's all going to work out in the end. But like I say, guys, as far as crypto, like I've been looking at news for crypto. There's just not that much. Like even on Cointelegraph right now, like, okay, Bitcoin gold copycat, blah, 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 AI stuff, but nothing crazy. Crypto pod. I mean, I've never seen news this dry on crypto news. Like they've got nothing. Like these magazines or articles, they have nothing to write about because everybody and their mother is not getting into crypto until this whole tariff thing gets rectified. So right now, guys, we're in a waiting period. I know it sucks. I mean, I've been pretty busy with other stuff. This whole condo situation. God, never buy a fucking condo, guys. I mean, like, I'm going to make a video on this. I've been in real estate now for 10, 15 years. I was an Airbnb superhost. I've had multiple properties. This was my first condo. And man, never buy a fucking condo because you're dealing with HOA. You're dealing with horrible, horrible property management companies that basically they'll run your property into the ground. They'll just run it into the ground. There's corruption involved. It's like a mafia. Buying a condo is like you're in a mafia. Like they're giving kickbacks to this company. $100,000 goes missing from the balance sheet. You don't know where it went. Like, never buy a condo. That's all I gotta say. Even if you're an old lady and you want to downsize, just rent an apartment. Just rent an apartment. That's all I gotta say. So anyway, so that's that. But yeah, guys, we're just kind of in a waiting game right now, and it really sucks. It's really boring. But if you've been in these crypto markets for years like I have, this is not a big deal. Like I said, I think all this stuff is going to get rectified within the next month. I don't know. You know, something crazy could happen. We could go into like a full-blown recession. That could hold things up. Something could happen with China. But all the other countries other than China have come to the table, and their tariffs have pretty much been removed. So all we got to do is have Trump come out and tweet, okay, tariffs paused on China. We're trying to work out a deal. Even if they don't work out a deal, but they're at least trying to work out a deal and the tariffs have been paused, you're going to see the markets pump on that. And then I think the Fed's probably going to come out and have to announce some kind of rate cut at some point, or Jerome Powell is going to get fired. And just Jerome Powell getting fired or resigning means somebody else is going to come in and most likely do a rate cut. And basically just off that news, we're going to see stock market, crypto market go crazy. So yeah, it's boring. I get it. Trust me, I really expected us to be in full-blown crypto bull market by now. I mean, it really is kind of shocking, but it is what it is. You can't control these markets. If you think you control these markets, you know, it's like a ship captain will tell you. It's like you can't control the seas. You basically just have to go with the flow in the sea. You can't control it. Whatever happens, happens. You can make some predictions. You can go off what previously happened to other ship captains, but you're basically in the water. We're in the crypto waters, and we have to basically just wait for that sea to take us where it's going to take us. We know we're going to have a bull market. We know we're getting $150,000 Bitcoin. We know we have the most pro-crypto administration in the history of this country in right now. We know XRP is going to do amazing. We know Cardano is going to do amazing. We know like all these coins are going to do amazing. It's just we have to have these other things line up first before we get there. All right, guys, that's it. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.